Hey, travelers, there's an adage that says that before you marry somebody, you should agree on money, religion, and kids. Along similar lines, I think that before you start a slow travel lifestyle with your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, or whatever you like to call your partner, there are some things you should agree on as well. Moving to a slow travel lifestyle can be a big change in your relationship, and it's important that you have similar expectations about the travel experiences you want to have. Otherwise, you might be thinking you are living your best life while your partner isn't very happy. Or even worse, you both end up miserable because you didn't agree on the right things beforehand. So, these are 5 things we think that you and your partner should agree on before you start a slow travel lifestyle together. When Chris and I took early retirement so that we could start a slow travel lifestyle, we'd already been together about 25 years. Up until this point, we worked regular jobs, took standard vacations, and didn't really ever need to talk about how we were running our lives because things didn't change that much. But then we decided to retire and start a life where we combined slow travel with volunteer work and other projects. All of a sudden, our lives looked a lot different. We were facing changes and decisions, and we could no longer guess what the other person wanted. We both knew we wanted to travel more, but as we started to find out, we didn't necessarily agree on what our slow travel lifestyle would look like. The slow travel lifestyle isn't always easy, and some people find some aspects harder than others. It's taken Chris and I some work to get on the same page, and as we continue down this path, we continuously need to talk about what we want from our travel experiences. When you're working and you get offered a promotion or a new job, you'll probably talk about it with your partner, but unless it involves a major life change like a move, you can make the decision about the new job without impacting your partner too much. They'll probably offer you advice and hopefully support you, but ultimately the decision is yours. But with a slow travel lifestyle and early retirement, all of a sudden you're spending months at a time traveling the world together, and the decisions you make can impact the other more than they did in the past. Based on our travel experiences in early retirement, these are 5 things that we think you and your partner should agree on, or at least be willing to compromise on, before you start a slow travel lifestyle together. And the first one is where you want to travel. One of you may want to explore the major cities in Europe, while the other one wants to backpack through the Andes. Now, you are a couple, so hopefully you have some shared interests here, but maybe not. It's really important to share your dreams and your goals for your slow travel lifestyle together. For Chris and I, this part was one of the easier ones.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and as Em said, picking our destination is pretty easy. I'm not too picky about what our destination will be, so I just let Em do all the work here.
It's good Chris doesn't get too set on a destination because I change my mind a lot. Last year, he thought we were going to Thailand, but we ended up in Argentina instead. Now, things aren't always this easy for us, but I'll get to our disagreements later. The next thing you should agree on is the comfort and expense level of your travels. Do you always want to be staying in higher end accommodations, or would you prefer something more budget friendly? Chris and I want to be able to travel a lot, so we're willing to sacrifice comfort to stretch our budget. We've agreed that we want to pick simpler accommodations, skip expensive tours, and travel carry on only. We found that our points of view on money in our marriage just extended to travel here. But budget travel can be a lot less comfortable, and so you really need to be on the same page about this. Otherwise, one of you is going to be very grumpy when you find out your bed is a plywood board in a room you're sharing with 30 other people. And this brings me to the third item you should agree on before starting a slow travel lifestyle together, and that's what kind of travel experiences you want to have at your destination. Are you willing to be uncomfortable and take chances to experience new things, or do you prefer comfort and familiarity? Just because you both want to travel to Asia doesn't mean you want the same things when you get there. Maybe one of you wants to experience all the food and the night markets, while the other one wants to freeze their butt off while hiking through the Himalayas.
In case you're wondering, I choose the night market, but hiking to the top of a mountain can be pretty cool too.
It's really important to agree here. Things go wrong when you're traveling. Experiences don't go as planned. And when you end up in a situation that is less than desirable, you definitely don't want to be getting into a fight and starting to blame the other person for dragging you into this mess. When we were in Peru a couple of years ago, I wanted to go deep into the Amazon jungle, and Chris agreed with my off-the-wall idea. And we definitely got an adventure, one that was filled with bug-infested mattresses, dirty bathrooms, and questionable food safety. It could have been very easy to start a fight in the middle of the Amazon jungle. But fortunately, we were on the same page about taking some risks with our travel choices. And we took everything in stride and actually ended up having a wonderful time. And luckily, also managed to avoid any foodborne illnesses. With slow travel, you should also agree on how often and how long you want to travel for.
This is probably the area that we disagree on most. My style would be to travel for a few months of the year and then spend the rest of the time in our home base of Vancouver, Canada.
Whereas I would probably travel for 11 or 12 months of the year. We've spent a lot of time talking about this, and we've come to a compromise that works for both of us, where we end up traveling for about 5 or 6 months of the year. Then we spend another couple of months camping or volunteering in our home province of British Columbia, though not necessarily in our home city of Vancouver. And this brings me to my fifth and final point on things to agree on in a slow travel lifestyle, and that is what to do about your home base. Do you want to keep your current home, downsize, or get rid of it altogether because you won't make good use out of it?
Moving out of your current home can be really difficult, especially if it's been your home for many years. Unless you both agree on what you want to do here, our recommendation is to take your time making the decision. Start your slow travel lifestyle and see how it feels. Then make the decision about what to do with your home base once you've had more slow travel experience.
We've done a lot of videos on why we chose what we did, so be sure to check them out. This one is a good place to start. And that's our video on 5 things we think you should agree on before you start a slow travel lifestyle together. We hope you're doing well, and we will see you in our next video.